Hello babes and welcome back to my channel. Grab your wine glasses. We're doing this week's new makeup releases, going in the wish list or not. I'm gonna try, I always say that, but I'm actually gonna try and make this shorter. Because I spend about an hour filming this and I spend about 4 hours editing this. So I kind of want to like get some of my weekend back. If you understand what I'm saying. I did film this, it is coming, I did a little get ready with me. I don't think, no, I won't be up next week, it will be up the week after that because I already filmed everything for next week. What is coming next week? There is a video coming tomorrow that I'm so excited about and I would be so honored and so happy if you would tune in and watch that on Monday. It would mean so much to me. And I also have, what do I have? I really have fun videos next week. I hope you watch them. And if you don't, that's totally fine as well. Because I do know that a lot of people that watch my channel only watch these videos. And I'm not salty about that. That's perfectly fine. You should watch whatever you feel is interesting. Let us talk about some new makeup releases. I feel like there's been, wait, I need to scooch. Do you see how I fix my hair as well? I tried for you babes. How is this? Am I covering up some of the background? I feel like there's been a lot of things announced, but I don't think I want any of them. Should we talk about, do I want to start with like bigger brands and going influencer, celebrity brands and then indie like I usually do? Although some indie brands are big, so I mentioned them in the more mainstream area. I want to touch on, because last week we talked about the what was it called, the Warrior 3 by Juvias that was announced, and we talked about it last week. Oh, it's itching. I have like cat hair everywhere. And then they announced, like while I was filming, Chichi, the owner of Juvias, showed the new front of the Nomad palette, and I was like, really? But let's talk about that one a bit this week. That is the Nomad palette, and I feel like I think the same about this as I heard a lot about people think, why wasn't this Warrior 3? Because Warrior so far has been more of their like neutral line. I have the Warrior 1 that was sent to me as PR. I don't really receive PR from Juvias. Some things I receive, but definitely far from everything. I do have a Coop with them though, but I don't receive like things in PR really. But I did get the Warrior 1. It's like a yellow toned neutral palette, a bit like the Urban Decay Honey palette that's coming now. And then they had a Warrior 2 that was more of a neutral and warm toned all matte palette, and then all of a sudden Warrior 3 came and was like a more bright saturated version of the Zulu palette. And I think people were surprised that that was all of a sudden Warrior 3, because Warrior has been a bit of a neutral series, and I kind of agree. I know that they said that the Nomad palette was inspired by the nomads in Africa, and I kind of get why they didn't want to have that included in the Warrior series, because maybe you don't want to draw like warrior and nomads. It's definitely not the same thing, but I still kind of feel that it would have been better off in the Warrior series. I actually did end up buying the Warrior 3. I looked at it again and again and again, and I love the blue and purple and pink combo. And I realized that, you know what, I really do want to have that purple, light blue, and the blue shimmers. So I bought it, and the other shades I think will work perfectly together with other, like I think that this palette would look beautiful with the Magic palette. I also think it would work really good with the Zulu and the Deuce palette. So I don't need the palette. I definitely don't, but I ended up buying it because I love Juvia's place. And I feel like one of the things with my low buy is that I've realized that some brands, I just really love the quality, and I kind of want to buy something when they come up with something that really speaks to me. And it's been a while since Juvia's came up with something super colorful, so I decided to buy it. When it comes to this Nomad palette, I think it's pretty smart that they came up with the that they came out with the Nomad palette at the same time as they did the Warrior 3. Whatever you feel about the name and all of that, because I feel like both of these palettes are not gonna like talk to the same groups of people. I feel like a colorful palette, even though it is very like rainbow-esque, I feel like that speaks more to me, even though I'm not all about the rainbow palettes. I'm definitely not all about the nude, like neutral palettes. And I feel like the Nomad palette, it is a bit of a nudie neutral palette. I feel like it also has those more yellowy grungy tones. It also has those more greeny tones with the poopy yellowy green matte and then the khaki green matte. It's not for me. It's not for me. I get what they're going with this. If you have the other two Warrior palettes, I feel like this palette would go so great with those. If you like neutral colors and if you want to have something grungy, more fall-esque to like mix with those, I didn't pick that one up. And I probably won't either unless I see some really interesting looks and like reviews of it. But right now I'm not gonna pick that one up because it's not really for me. And yeah, I think that was everything. Sometimes I read comments that are like, sometimes people are super rude and I delete them, but maybe you also see comments within the comments of people that are slightly offended that I let you know my opinions during these videos. And I am totally fine with you not agreeing with me, but just because I say I don't want to buy something or that I say that something looks boring doesn't mean I think you're boring. It just means that we have different tastes, and I'd love to hear about your opinions and your taste down in the description box. I am pretty upfront and honest in these videos, and therefore I kind of have to like take when you are upfront and honest with me, and I can't take that. I'm a big girl. You can let me know how you feel in the comments. I won't be offended. Unless you're calling me the C word, because then I will, because that's just very unnecessary. Oh, while we're on this yellow-green trend, this is the other palette that I feel like it's looking slightly like, and this is, we talked about this, me and Hannah, when we met up, that we thought that the small palette by Natasha Denona was going to be the mini gold, but it ended up being the mini tropic, but now here comes the mini gold, so I guess we were slightly right, at least, that Natasha Denona was coming out with the mini gold, and I think it was just a matter of time, to be honest. I mean, people love her gold palette. People that don't even like Natasha Denona has been swayed to like Natasha Denona because they love the quality of the gold palette. I haven't bought the gold palette. I've only tried it and swatched it because I have friends that own it, but it's not for me. Like, I don't need that palette because it's not for me, and I feel the same way about the mini palette. I think though that it's kind of weird that one of the shades that wasn't included in this mini was that, is it called lime gold, the one that's like a gold with a lime shift? Maybe it was too expensive to put in the mini palette, I don't know, but I feel like that one really captures the essence of the gold palette, which is a gold palette with a twist, and I feel like a bit surprised that that one isn't in the mini. I think a lot of people will enjoy this mini palette. Is it new shades? No, it is 4 new shades and 1 existing shade. I love that she did new shades. You know what? I love that. I take... It's itching on my back again. I take back a lot of the things I said. I love that it's new shades. I think that's great. That means that people that want to have the essence of the gold palette can buy it, and people that already have the gold palette can buy it. But I still feel like the shade she should have brought from the gold palette is that lime gold, because I feel like that is the shade that everyone's talking about. And if she included that in the mini palette, maybe some people that bought a mini palette and don't own the big palette might have been persuaded to buy the big palette because of how much people seem to love it. It's also a mini highlighter, glow gold, and I am really intrigued by this. I feel like the swatches somehow remind me a bit of how Fire looks from Colourpop. You know, I love that one so much. It's one of my favorites ever. I named it my favorite highlighter of 2018. So I am excited by the Glow Shimmer Duo. It is a warm gold super glow and a golden sparkly diamond palette. Oh, it sounds so $42, available September 17th. I might buy the duo. And when I say might, I mean I most probably will buy the duo. I will buy the duo. It's coming home with me, okay? Try and stop me, sue me. But I'm excited about that one. I have not been excited about a gold highlighter since Champagne Pop, so I am really excited about that one. I will be getting that. And while we're on the Natasha Denona train, this seems to be her, I'm guessing this is her holiday release, or is the gold one the holiday release? I'm not really sure, but this is the Metropolis palette, and this is, yeah, this is in October. And it's limited edition. I'm guessing this is the holiday thing, don't you think? It is a big palette. It seems to be the same size as like the sunset palette and the lila palette and the gold palette, but it seems to have smaller pans like the Sunrise palette. So that's why I think you get more shades for the same price, which is $129. I think I am correctly informed when I'm saying this, that you will get more shades in smaller pans for the $129 price tag, and it's going to be the same palette size as like the lila and the gold. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I will do some more Sherlock Holmes work and put all the details down in the description box. I always have all the details that I can find with links and prices and release dates down in the description box. I try and fill it out as much as possible. But this is a pretty colorful but still neutral palette, and what I like with this palette, even though there's no way I'm buying it, but what I like with this palette is that it is not just shimmers that are colorful, because sometimes I feel like brands put in a lot of colorful shades, but it's only shimmers, so that us out there that like to put a matte in the crease and a shimmer under the lid, we're only left with the option of having a neutral crease. And I feel like she at least gave the option of doing a colorful or a neutral crease and a colorful or a neutral lid. And I think that that is good. There's some oranges, some corals, some reds, a yellow, some greens, and then a bunch of neutrals and taupey beigey golds. This isn't for me, and I think that you know that. I like Natasha Denona, I like her formula, but it's gonna have to be a bit more different than this. I feel like if I want something that is this color scheme, I have that. If I'm looking for this, I have that. A lot of the mattes have the same like murky, grungy tone as the Divina mattes, and I think that I would reach for the Divina mattes before buying a $129 palette with the same vibe. But I mean, that's just me. If you don't own these colors, maybe you want to buy it. Or I think that a lot of Natasha Denona fans will buy this, and I also feel like a lot of like people that want to spoil someone that they love over Christmas as a gift, this will be a great gift. I'm sure this will be under a lot of trees this Christmas, but for me, it's a lot of money to spend on something that isn't my style, and also I feel like I already have. So if I do want to reach for something like this, I already own it. Oh, I want to talk about the new... This is also Holiday, and this is Urban Decay Holiday, and they showed some gift sets. I hope that this isn't too small so that you actually can see something with this picture, but it seems like they are doing some gift sets for Holiday based on the new Naked Honey palette that they are coming out with. And I love these sets so much more than I love the palette. The palette is just very brown, and it's just too much brown for me. If I were to buy something that's neutral, I would buy something that's small, and that's what I feel like this little mini honey thing is. It's 6 shades, they're all neutrals. One seems to be more of a bright honey yellow, how I see honey. I understand that there are different colors of honey. Nobody needs to tell me again, like, I know. I am aware. And also seems to be one duochrome, like a beigey base with like a, I don't know, like a almost greeny tint. I don't know, it seems very cool, the duochrome, like a neutral, like a toned down duochrome. Duochrome for people who don't want to have a bunch of color, and I appreciate that those kind of duochromes are out there as well. I'm not gonna buy this, but this would make such a good gift. Like my niece, for example, she's like 7, I'm not gonna buy her makeup, but if she was 14, a set like this would be great. Such a great gift set. It's not for me though. I think the new primer potion is a bit shimmery, which is not something I would want to have, but I do realize that there are people out there that might want to. And then in this gift set there's also an all-nighter honey. I don't really know what that is, if that's also a bit shimmery or if it smells like honey. I'm not sure about that. And also one of those eye pens, and it seems to be a shimmery orange. I don't hate that gift set. There is also a gift set with 4 lipsticks, mini Vice lipsticks. I think there are new shades, or maybe some existing shades. At least I think 2 are new because they're in like B packaging. I don't hate this. I kind of like doing a big launch for something for your like range that's not limited edition, because I don't think the honey palette is limited edition, and then doing limited edition gift sets based on that palette for Christmas, or like, I like that, just using something that's in your line and then doing limited edition little small gift sets for Christmas. I kind of like that. I don't mind that at all. I'm not gonna buy any of this because neither of these are my style. Maybe it's just me liking small packaging. It could be me just liking things when they're in minis and like small palettes, because I feel like you're not so tied down. If you buy like a big palette, that's a lot of money to spend on a lot of eyeshadows, and I just feel like, oh my god, I need to use all of these. It's getting like so many shades all at once. Even like a 12 pan palette, if I don't like all of them, or at least most of them, it doesn't make any sense. I just like getting smaller things, or like at least like singles, so you can move them around and create your own little palettes. I don't know, that could be just me. I saw the sneak peek from Beauty News Official. I don't know if I have them linked within my links of places that I find news, but if I don't, I will fix it now, because they are a great source of information for getting releases on stuff, and they also showcase a lot of brands that not everybody else does. So I think that their Instagram page is awesome. As awesome as their YouTube channel is. I really love the Beauty News girls. But they showed today, I saw this picture from Wet n Wild is launching their first ever 40 pan eyeshadow palette, and it's apparently this has been pre-launched at DragCon NYC. Yeah. Currently exclusive to DragCon, but will be launching soon. Okay, so it's coming to Wet n Wild Beauty. I don't like this theme of brands that usually don't do big palettes all of a sudden doing big palettes. I'm not about that life. Why did that have to be a trend? I thought that the trend was going to be more smaller palettes, and in a way I feel like we have seen that trend, but now this past like couple of weeks, 2 brands have released their first ever big eyeshadow palette, and I'm just not about that life. And I feel like this palette looks exactly like a Morphe palette. This could be any Morphe palette, so I'm not that impressed. Also, like the other brand I talked about is the Colourpop and Kathleen Lights has come out with a 30 shade palette that is based on gems. It's called Jaded. Told you one of the trends was going to be minerals and gems, so we've seen a lot of that, and I love the theme. I just wish it wasn't that big. That's not what she said. But I mean, Kathleen Lights has done so many collabs with Colourpop, and most of them have been really good. So I think that this is probably going to sell so much, because most people do love a big palette. This one is already available, and it is $39. And this is the thing, that when Colourpop starts selling things for $40, that's when I'm like, that's still $40. I don't know. What do you think? I would have preferred to see another 12 pan palette, or even a 16 pan palette. They've done that before, because this palette is very redundant, and I am sure that even though they have named all of these shades based on minerals or crystals, I'm sure some of these are repeats from their previous collections, because I don't think that all of these are new. That's just me guessing. I think some of these are pressed glitters as well. So I'm not gonna pick this up. I love the packaging. The packaging is stunning. I love crystals, I love minerals, I love rocks. Geology is my babe, but this is just too big for my liking. But I've heard a lot of people being really excited about this, and if you're interested, I will link it down below. Hopefully it's still available if you wanted to snag it, but yeah, this isn't for me. And also, there are a lot of shades that are pretty light and pretty neutral, so yeah, no, I'm gonna pass. I do think that some of these shades are new though, and if some of these shades are new, I do hope that they release those as like singles, because I love when Colourpop does that, so you are given the opportunity to actually pick up some of the things as singles if you wanted to buy, just because some people prefer palettes and some people prefer singles, and I do like when brands give you the opportunity to like choose like what you want to have. Oh wait, we have more Colourpop. I was looking through the pictures and I was like, that's not all the Colourpop we have. More Colourpop. They are also, we talked about the Ulta exclusive last week, and apparently there's another palette that's Ulta exclusive, and it's called Truly Madly Deeply, and it is a palette filled with a lot of pre-existing shades. I don't think a lot of these, if any, are new shades that haven't been released before. It also has some pressed pigments. I think this is the perfect palette to have at Ulta, because if you're buying Colourpop at Ulta, it might be because you are not already an avid Colourpop lover and don't already have a bunch of Colourpop stuff. So to put together a lot of the really good shades in the palette and sell it at Ulta, not the worst of ideas, but it's not meant for us that already love and buy and own Colourpop, because we're gonna get duplicates. So this palette isn't for me, but it could be for someone. But yeah, I don't think so. And also Colourpop did some collabs. They not only does Kathleen like, although it's a bit weird that they're releasing 3 collabs in 1 week. They're like the makeup revolution of American makeup, but they're making a collab with, oh my god, I feel so bad, I didn't save the other girls collab. Oh, I feel so bad, but I will put the pictures up on both the collabs here. I know that one of them is the girl that I'm subscribed to, and that's why I remember her, and that is thatgirlshaexo. And she has been one of the biggest fans of Colourpop for so long, so I'm actually surprised that they didn't let her create some things of her own, because both of these collections are curated favorites, and I do feel like curated favorites is not a bad collab to get. I mean, I've done that. I loved doing that, and it gives them an opportunity to showcase their style and to showcase their favorites from Colourpop. But on the other hand, neither of these two girls are small creators. I am sure that if they were able to create maybe only one thing or a duo of something that's like their own, I'm sure it would sell. So I'm a bit surprised that they weren't allowed to do that, but it's so cute. The sets are beautiful. All of them are pretty neutral, because both of these girls seems to be very into mostly neutrals. So it's not for me, but I'm very happy for both of them getting collabs. I'm guessing the other girl as well is a big Colourpop fan. I'm always excited to see new people get collabs, and I thought that was pretty cute. And I know how much of a like promoter and ambassador Shay has been for Colourpop, so I'm really excited that they gave her the opportunity to do some packs for Colourpop. So I think these are already available. Yeah, they're already launched. I will link them as well down below in case you're interested and you want to support any of these two girls. I'm so sorry that I didn't say the name of the other girl. I seem to have not saved her bundle, but you saw the picture here, and I will link to both of them down below. Also in this like grungy fall theme thing, Golden Twilight palette by BH Cosmetics has launched. This is also way too neutral for my liking, and I also feel like it's very shimmer heavy, but it seems to be one of those mini palettes with small pans. I like that, and I'm sure that people will like it. The packaging is beautiful, but if you look at the swatches around the palette, you can see how neutral it is. And this is definitely one of those packaging doesn't really reflect the inside, because the packaging is purple and orange, and I don't really feel like that's what the palette is. So this isn't for me at all, but it's already available, and if you're interested, I will link it down below. We also got to see how the collaboration between KKW and Need Harlow looks, and I talked about this before when it was announced that they were doing a collab, and I feel like it's very model-esque. I don't really know Need Harlow, I just feel like it's very refreshing that other kinds of beauty is being included in what's seen as beautiful. And I think that's very important, because it doesn't have to be either or. Like, sometimes I feel like when people talking about the norm and what is seen as beautiful, it has to be either this or that. Or it's been this for so long, so now it can be this for a while. Why can't it be all? And I'm so happy to see more and more things are being included within the norm of what's seen as beautiful, and hopefully one day everything will be included and there's no longer like a need for a norm. So for that reason, I'm super excited about this collab. Neither of this is for me. I feel like it looks a bit like it could be also the background that's giving it away, the Medusa palette that Lunar Beauty had. It wasn't called Medusa palette, it was called the Greek Goddess palette. I feel like it's kind of that feeling, this whole palette. The duo looks really beautiful. It reminds me a bit of the duo by the one I showed you before by Natasha Denona. I also think that KKW is coming to Ulta, right? We don't have Ulta and it doesn't ship to us, so I don't really care about those kind of news. But if you were interested in trying KKW and you weren't really interested in buying it from her site, just know that it's coming to Ulta soon. So that could be cool, I guess, if you are interested. Okay, let's talk about one more mainstream thing before we get into some indie and like influencer created things, and this is the holiday palette from Tarte Cosmetics. It is again that sequin front. I know they've had that, so last holiday or 2 holidays ago, I know they had that on a couple of things. I think it's pretty festive and fun that they're doing that. This palette includes also like, I think it's a mascara and like a liner or something like that, and I don't like getting small things like that in the palette, but these holiday palettes mostly are meant as gifts. Giving it to someone that maybe does not buy as much makeup and they would be happy to get a liner and a mascara with their palette. So I do realize that these palettes aren't meant for me. This palette is very light beigey peach with a blue, a berry, and a purple. It's very typical holiday palette. I'm guessing that's what sells. I'm guessing that's what people likes getting as like a gift under the Christmas tree. I don't. I'd be sad if someone gave me this as a gift. Don't buy me this for Christmas, okay? I don't want it, but this is definitely not for me. But I don't think it's meant for me, or maybe even for you. It's meant for being like a gift. So yeah, some of these things you might see on sale later. I thought there were 2 like influencer created things that I wanted to talk about. The first one being is Likely Makeup. It's created by It's Likely Makeup. I think her name is Georgie, and she is coming out with a blush palette, and she is very blush heavy in her looks, so I think it's very on brand for her to release a blush palette as her first like makeup thing. She has had lashes from before, like Likely Lashes, and I think she just changed it to Likely Makeup because she wanted to have more than lashes. And I think it's cool. It is clown themed. I love that it's clown themed because I always say that when I have a lot of makeup like today, that I am a very happy clown. And she apparently is also a very happy clown. I love that there's also a yellow included that could be mixed with other shades or used on its own. Yellow blush is actually really cool and editorial and can be used on its own as well as like a purple blush. Google yellow blush and you will see some really cool looks. So I don't hate this. I feel like this is something that I would probably really like. I am a lover of blush, although today I don't have that heavy blush on. I think that it's a pretty cool release. I think it's very on brand, and yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's pretty cool. Also, we have seen the holiday palette by artist Couture, and I think that, what's his name? And his name's like Mac Daddy, which is a bit cringy, but he's really good at makeup and he's been in the influencer game for a long time. And his brand Artist Couture has having mostly like highlighters, and now I think this is their first eyeshadow palette. It reminds me a bit of the palette we talked about last week, the new palette by Decay Cosmetics. I think this is a really small and cute palette. You know I love a small and cute one. It has 2 bright mattes, a bright purple and a bright pink, and then it has 3 neutral mattes and 3 very glittery, like sparkly shades. One like seems to be a black background and a teal like a teal glitter, and then it's a purple and it is a fuchsia pink. And I like this palette. I think this is really beautiful. This is something that I could probably see myself picking up if I was able to swatch it, because I've never tried the brand and I'm trying to buy less, so I'm trying to not just buy things because, but I feel like he has a lot of influencer friends, so probably they will use this palette and you can see it in action. It's only $29 and I feel like that's only $29 because it's sold at Sephora. So yeah, I actually think that this is pretty cool. It's coming September 27th on his site, the Artist Couture site, and then in Sephora it's coming a month later, October 27th. So it's a good like holiday release. I think this is pretty cute. I love that he went with something small and still like pretty colorful for his first palette. I like it. I think it's cute. If I had it, I'd probably really like it. First, we can talk about a sneak peek when we're talking about indie brands, and this is the Killer Purr palette by Menasha Cosmetics. I am guessing, based on this picture, that it's gonna be like savan inspired colors, probably orangey yellows. I'm guessing that this is gonna be a yellow palette. And it is coming this fall, so I mean, fall is not that much longer, so I'm guessing we're gonna see the inside pretty soon, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. And if maybe you're a big like Menasha Cosmetics fan and you want to know what's going on. Also, I talked about this palette so long ago, and I hope this brand takes this the right way, but don't sneak peek things unless you know when you're releasing it, because it's been, I want to say a year, it might have been a year, and that's just too long. But this is the Unicorn Cosmetics Totemic palette, and they showed, oh my god, they showed the packaging so long ago, but she's finally here, and look how stunning she is. 6 mattes and 4 shimmers, high pigmentation, coming November. Packaging is beautiful, it's shaped like a diamond, it has this beautiful babe on the front. These aren't colors that I'm looking for. I mean, I just bought a rainbow palette. Even though I'm not into rainbow palettes, I got lured into buying one because it had 2 blue shimmers, and I'm like, sign me up. The last thing I need is another one, but I love that their first palette is as like colorful as this one, and still has some neutrals thrown in. The swatches look beautiful. I am excited to see what's gonna end up with this palette, like what's going on. I always like when like new brands are popping up, but right now it's a no from me, but I might change my mind, you never know. I also talked about Kraken Cosmetics before. They are doing the most beautiful themes. I love their themes. This is the End of the World palette, and it is already available for $32, and it has like names such as Wasteland, Pip-Boy, Vault Dweller, Berserker, Apocalypse, Citadel, Raider, Feral. I mean, there's a cool names, a cool theme. It's not for me. I mean, you can see how neutral this is, but it's a bit of an interesting neutral palette, and if you're into neutrals and want to try something new, maybe this could be for you. Supporting an indie brand is never wrong if you like the color scheme, but yeah, I wouldn't get this because it's not my kind of deal, but I wanted to showcase it because I think that Kraken Cosmetics is doing something cool and unique with their like themes and stuff, and I want to support that. Also, Beauty Bar Baby, I talked about this a while ago, that they were coming out with these glitter flakes, and these are eye safe, and look at how pretty they are. They're coming out with a new collection, same kind of flakes, just new colors. This is the Fantasy collection, and look at how beautiful these are. I kind of want to try one of these. But it's a bit annoying to buy like one thing from US and then just pay for shipping and handling and like taxes and all that. But yeah, I feel like this is pretty cool. I kind of wanna try them. I will link them down below. Let me know if you tried these. Let me know what you feel about them. How are they? Are they hard to work with? I mean, of course you need a glitter glue. I can see just looking at this like flaky thing that you're gonna need a glitter glue. But I'm kind of intrigued because I don't think I've seen anything like this before, at least not that's like actually eye safe, because they say it's eye safe. So I'm actually slightly intrigued by that. Should we, oh yeah, I have one more thing I want to mention, but let's end with this indie thing. This is the new Dreambook palette from the Bile Cosmetics. Who's buying all of these tabletop palettes? Because I keep seeing more and more and more, and we're gonna talk about another one after this, and I'm just like, people must be buying these, otherwise they wouldn't be like sold. There wouldn't be more ones coming if people weren't buying these. Who's buying these? Look at how similar all of those oranges are. Some of those greens look identical as well. Some of those blues look identical. I like 3 similar browns in a row. Do we need to have every color imaginable in a palette that's just too hard to handle? You need like a license to handle this one? Yeah. I'm not all about this. I know you keep tagging me in these because you want to see me roast them, but I'm just so over them. And it's the same with this palette by Makeup Revolution. I'm guessing this is their big holiday palette, but look at this mess. This is like a blind person trying to do like a mosaic floor and just... what happened here? It's like they have the same 8 shades and they just try to put them in a funky pattern for us to not realize that it's actually the same shades again and again. And this isn't even affordable. This is kind of expensive at Beauty Bay. I will link it down below from Beauty Bay, and I'm like, ooh, child, that's expensive. It's too much money. I don't know, like, what's going on? This is a furniture. I don't understand. But I mean, it would make a great gift. It's like an eyeshadow palette and a sleigh all in one. Hooray! I think that was everything. I don't know how long I've been filming. Probably this is as long as it always is because I cannot seem to stop talking. I just love sharing my thoughts, and I love like hearing your thoughts as well in the comments. Last week though, I was horrible at answering comments. I was so busy last weekend with a lot of fun stuff, but still it was like all of the fun stuff that ever could happen all happened at the same weekend. And I just didn't have time to watch any comments. And I'm sorry, but sometimes life gets in the way, and this isn't my job, and I'm doing the best I can. It seems like I'm trying to make excuses, but it's not like it's not excuses, it's an explanation. I'm sorry. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down below which are the releases this week that intrigues you the most versus the least, and I will talk to you in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow for a new video. I think the one thing that like intrigues me the most is the Natasha Denona like gold duo. I am gonna pick that one up. I am so intrigued. I really want to own that. And obviously the things that intrigue me the least are those really big palettes towards the end. I just think they're unnecessary and they're ridiculous, and I don't even think they make a good gift. If someone tried to give me that one, I know they hate me. I'm sorry, I keep rambling. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for a new video. Bye.